everybody. Thank you for joining me on a special Evening Thursday stream. Things got changed up a little bit this week. There will be a stream, as you know, right now, and there will also be a stream tomorrow at around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I occasionally switch up the times so that people can join who otherwise can't join in. I feel very confident today that the stream will work. I apologize for the technical difficulties that we had on Tuesday. It turns out that there was like a situation where there was like an ongoing live stream that I could activate was double using the same streaming key, so I had to switch that. And then also I switched the output on my streaming to make sure that it doesn't exceed what YouTube likes to handle. So I feel both those things have been fixed, and therefore we should have a fabulous stream today with absolutely no technical difficulties, and we can just have a good time. So we have really three really great stories to discuss today, and then of course, as always, for the final 10 minutes of the stream, you can ask me anything that you would like. All right, hold on, let's see here. Okay. So before we get started, let me just do our usual shout outs. Where's everybody watching from today, and what are you up to? Buscemi boy, I'm sorry that Tuesday didn't work. I am working, by the way, on my Doom Patrol spoiler review. It should hopefully go up this evening or first thing tomorrow. Zeester is playing video games online with friends in Kuwait. Love it. Kyle and just finished Doom Patrol. Let's see here. Matthew Brent is in a rainy Sydney. Roman is in Boston, college dorm shopping. I hope with a mask on, be safe. Jonathan just had dinner in Toronto. Tonight I'm going to have mac and cheese. Also, I've discovered a fascinating new thing. If you freeze your cookie dough, because, again, I'm just cooking for one, and so that's too many cookies. But I tried freezing my cookie dough, and then I bake the frozen cookie dough balls that I make. Hey, Jesse, thanks for joining. Thanks for becoming a member. I have these oh, and by the way, I found out how to turn on the live chat after the fact. That wasn't going on either. YouTube! But I just cook the frozen ball of cookie dough for 15 minutes instead of 7 or 8 minutes, and it makes the most amazing chocolate chip cookies of my life. I'm so happy. It was a happy accident. It's like how Nestle Toll House cookies were discovered, but I highly recommend anyone do it. Those were an accident as well. The woman didn't have time to melt down the chocolate to make chocolate cookies, so she just threw in the chips and it made chocolate chip cookies, and she changed the world. That's right, Brent. I'm over my fear of freezing food. I've got frozen bread in there. I'm all about freezing food. Rashad is finishing off Umbrella Academy Season 2 on my day off in sunny Las Vegas. Loving it. It's a great show. Let's see here. Francisco, thank you. I'm glad you like my discovery. Let's see here. Cartoon Serbia stayed up till 1 a.m. I appreciate it. Thank you. Liam says it's midnight in Newcastle, UK. Kept myself awake to join. That's so sweet, Liam. I really appreciate it. Hi, Michael. If you use too many emojis, it automatically thinks that you're spamming, so just be careful on how many emojis you use. I try to catch them if I can. Tabitha just finished tacos for dinner in South Carolina. Love it. Let's see here. Chico says, waiting for the Season 2 finale of Doom Patrol. Thank goodness I have to catch up on episodes, it seems. CF Williams, thank you for becoming a member. Oh, Zakaria dislocated his knee, currently resting. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm glad you're okay. Glenn just finished watching Little Fires Everywhere, which is an Amazon original in Ireland, apparently. I hope you liked it. I thought it was so good. Guy says, watching from Boiling, UK after binging Umbrella Academy. And then Stu Pew Pew is in London, where it's midnight and 33 degrees. Is that Celsius or Fahrenheit? DJ Twilight Zone had Five Guys. Ooh, delicious. There was a thing about Ninja tweeted, I'm sure you saw that Shake Shack is the best burger. And people said, no, it's Five Guys. I like all burgers. I think they're delicious. I just like them to be all natural. That's the only thing I worry about. Lloyd just finished an early dinner, homemade chicken tenders, and enjoying the sunset in Virginia. Oh, that's lovely. Let's see here. Anthony Huntington, you just woke up my Amazon device. Yeah, I do that sometimes. Let's see here. Let's see. Sean says the U.S. is the only country that uses Fahrenheit. We do. Let's see. Whataburger from Cam. Never had Whataburger. And Nick is grilling a steak right now in Texas. Oh, you guys are making me hungry. Oh, I miss beef. I have it once a month. I'm hopefully due in a week or so. It's so delicious. All right, so let's get to today's Francisco. The stream is late today because so everyone enjoyed the late stream I had before, so I decided to do another late stream so that people can join who sometimes can't otherwise join. All right, so the first story of the day. Boop. So John Wick lives to kill again. Now, of course, as we all know, John Wick 4 had already been greenlighted by Lionsgate because the movies have been consistently increasing in their success. You know, Lionsgate, when it started out, they had Hunger Games and they bought Summit Entertainment to have Twilight, but those things went away. And for a while, Lionsgate had no franchises. And franchises, of course, are the lifeblood of a studio these days. But now, all of a sudden, Lionsgate is rich with franchises. They have Knives Out, which they're turning into a franchise, which even though I had problems with the first movie, I think is an excellent idea. And of course, they have John Wick. Now, John Wick 4, unfortunately, was delayed because of coronavirus. It had to be pushed back. Keanu was in the middle of shooting The Matrix 4. They had to put that on hold, and it had a domino effect on all of Keanu's other commitments. But Lionsgate is like, you know what? We're just going to keep going. So they've not only scheduled to shoot, please hold questions that aren't about the subject at hand until the final part of the show, please. I can't interrupt the story I'm covering to try and answer that question, but just hold it for the end. So anyway, John Wick 4 is not only now planning to be shot, but they've greenlit John Wick 5. Oh, wow. And they're going to shoot them back to back, which hopefully means a 2-part story, a cliffhanger ending. I think that's very exciting. It's great for Keanu Reeves as well. Not many movies get to 5 entries. That's, unusual. And it just goes to show you how the game is changing. It used to be you do a trilogy. That's what it is. A trilogy was the way. And once you're done with the trilogy, you were done. They're like, no one would go past a trilogy. What are you, crazy? But these days, franchises hopefully will last forever. But hopefully not take forever to make, James Cameron. He's like, I'm going to make so many avatars someday. But yes, they are working on the script so they can hit the ground running and get these movies pumped out. I think this sounds great. I'm just curious if Chad Stahelski can possibly top himself, not just with 1 more movie, but 2 more movies. I think that it would be hard to top John Wick 3, which to me is like one of the maybe the best stunt action movie ever made. And incredibly inventive. As I've told you before, Chad Stahelski keeps a little book where he writes down ideas for cool action sequences. And so I hope he's got a lot of stuff left over. I mean, I was glad he stepped in for Birds of Prey. I thought he did good work with the few action scenes that he contributed. But at the same time, I was like, don't use up all your ideas, Chad. You got more John Wicks to make. Halle Berry was very good. I agree, Rashad. I would love for them to bring her back, and also I'm excited to see who else will be cast. I like the cameos that film series allows for. They had that basketball player, right? I mean, it's really cool. So I'm very excited. Is everyone a John Wick fan? What's your favorite John Wick? Mine's obviously 3, because they get better and better. Mr. Was Up 19, Tom Cruise would be a really good choice, maybe. Asia Kate Dalton was great. I liked her. Yeah, it's 3. Oh, I see some 2s. But I really liked 3. Gonzalo says John Wick 3 is nearly a masterpiece. I would agree with that. Oh, Matt likes the first one the best. You know what's Red? I think you're right. Survivor of Storm's name is Red. I met him for Game of Thrones last year, so I always call him Red because that's his name. But you're right. John Wick 2 was very good. I knew it was good from the opening frame. But I think, Chad Stahelski is an incredibly talented filmmaker. I want him to make other movies, but he's very busy making John Wick films. All right, so that's the first story of the day. I'm very excited. Kirby, you've never seen any of them. Oh, you gotta. They're great. You don't have to watch all of them to get it, quite frankly. Maybe you should watch 2 and 3. I guess you might as well watch all of them, but make sure you get to 3. It's real good. All right, so that's the first story of the day. Now, the second story of the day, boop. Okay, so boop, sorry, we'll look at both screens here. I can see what I'm transmitting live, and then I can see what you're seeing, and it's like a good 3 to 4 second lag, YouTube. All right, so anyway, Eurovision, the Netflix movie that everybody laughed at, but then thought it was surprisingly charming. And suddenly, all of America knew what Eurovision was. It's not one of the most watched movies of all time on this site, but I think it did pretty well. How many people here watched Eurovision? So I've got, Lana knows. Oh, wow, I'm surprised. It's like 50-50. Although Ross says I can't stop thinking about that movie. Yeah, it was very hypnotic if you saw it. It really did stick with you. I thought about it for days. I'd say it's about 50-50 about who watched it. Hey, Cordless Cord. That's a funny name. But anyway, suddenly Eurovision has brand recognition in the United States. And so when I saw this headline that Eurovision was coming to America, I thought we were going to join the global party. But apparently, that's not what's happening. That's ridiculous. So what instead is going to happen is that they're going to do an American version of Eurovision just for here. I'm against it because I would like for us to be part of the world conversation. But then when they explained how the show would work, I think it's actually a pretty interesting idea. All right, so this will be Eurovision, but only for America. And it will obviously compete with shows like American Idol, America's Got Talent, which all continue to be very popular. It will be called American Song Contest. And Eurovision pits countries against each other. There's a lot of national pride and patriotism. So what are they going to do in the United States? They're going to pit state against state. And considering how divided we already are, this could actually work pretty well, I think. Maybe it's not good to emphasize our divides, but they're going for it. So the way this will work is that there'll be a competition with a singer from each state. And then you'll cheer on for your home state, I guess, to win. It's a little bit like Miss USA, but for music. And I think that's a pretty interesting idea. I think that could actually do quite well. And then Anthony says the winner goes to Eurovision. Oh, Anthony, is that true, or is that your idea? Well, I'm not quite sure if that is what happens, but I hope that it is. That would be interesting. But then they'd have to play Eurovision where I could see it. Oh, that's Anthony Huntington's idea. It's a good idea. That should be real. But anyway, I think it's, Sean, why can't we come play with you guys? All right, so anyway, I think this is a pretty good idea, and I think that, pitting state against state and kind of having like a theme to that, and, I think spotlighting each state, I think that could actually end up doing pretty well. So if I were a network, I got to tell you, I'd be interested in it. All right, so that's the second story of the day. Now for the third story of the day, boop, Amazon continues to build their slate. Amazon has a very, very impressive slate of shows. It gets better by the show. They just added Upload this year. They have such good stuff. I love The Boys and, Mrs. Maisel and Fleabag, and Jack Ryan, just so much good content. And now they're getting another show. They're going to base it on A League of Their Own, which is a fabulous movie. I actually own it. I just recently watched it on an airplane about a couple of years ago, and that's why I purchased it. I think I purchased it through that. I'm not sure. Or it was on sale. I don't remember. But I bought it. I'm a big fan of it. I love Gina Davis. She was so good. I feel bad that she wasn't able to keep her career going. Tom Hanks stars along with her. And also, of course, it has that great line, "There's no crying in baseball." It's fantastic. And it was based on a true story, which I think is also wonderful. That was made in 1992, directed by Penny Marshall. Unfortunately, Penny Marshall's passed away. But anyway, they're going to do a whole series on it, and it's going to dive into and explore race. As you can see on the bottom there, those are some of the cast members they're going to use, which I think is really awesome. So they're going to have different people. Yeah, Madonna, Rosie O'Donnell was there, Lori Petty, very good cast in the original movie. So anyway, it's going to be a diverse group, not only in terms of race, but also sexuality. So they're going to explore a lot of different types of women who would have participated in this. And it's co-created and co-stars Abby Jacobson, who I can see a number of you are already fans of, from Broad City, and that's her on the bottom on the far left. So I think that's really good. I think this sounds excellent to me. It sounds like old-time Glow, quite frankly, the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. That, of course, takes place during the 80s, and this will take place during World War II. But I think it's a really solid idea, and there are a lot of, there's a lot of diversity in the sports world for women. It seems particularly for women when it comes to race and sexuality. So I think that it's really important to highlight that. So I think it's a great idea, and I think it'll have that classic flashback feel to it. It should have beautiful sets, and I think the cast looks really likable right off the bat. I think they look like people I'd want to know what's going on with them. So I think it looks excellent. I think that sounds like a really good show. All right, so those are the 3 stories of the day. It is 7:22, so we can go till 7:32. All right, I just heard back from my source that Catwoman show is not legit. I didn't think it was legit. Zoe Kravitz, she just got canceled on a show as it is on Hulu, and they're just not going to take their lead actress and spin her off into a television show. So I heard from my source it's not true. So, sorry to disappoint you. I better tweet that out. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. I'll give you a few extra minutes. Hey, Jose. All right. All right. Mika says, Tom, so we'll go till 7:33. So Mika says, Tom Hanks Geppetto thoughts. Well, to be honest with you, I feel pretty strongly that it should be played by an Italian actor, unless or someone of Italian descent. What's Robert De Niro doing? He'd make a great Geppetto. I just feel, Robert Zemeckis is supposed to direct this. It's been taking forever. But I just feel it's a little lazy in terms of the casting. And I just, I just feel like it just doesn't excite me. I mean, maybe if it's a beautiful movie. I got to tell you, I don't think Pinocchio, I don't know if Pinocchio is going to do that great to begin with. I think it's a really old-fashioned story that have to do a lot with it. And I think that Robert Zemeckis has become very uncommercial. Although if anyone can tell the story of a live puppet boy swallowed by a whale with a cricket as a best friend, it's Robert Zemeckis. Kyle, I didn't see any cheetah images that have been released. And the new teasers don't actually show her. I'm waiting for DC fandom. I have to be so careful with the Wonder Woman stuff because Warner Brothers is really tough with it. I like the DJ Twilight Zone says, no one asked for a Pinocchio film. Yeah, I worry that it'll turn out like Dumbo, which I really enjoyed, but that just was a real clunker. Let's see here. Thank you, Marcos. That's very nice of you. Rose says, Grace, I don't think the U.S. belongs in Eurovision. Why do you think we should? Well, I wouldn't want to be anywhere that we weren't wanted, but don't you have, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed to me from the movie that people come from places that aren't Europe, like Russia and the Middle East and South Asia. So I don't understand why only America would be left out. Don't leave us out. Although if you're just going to boo us, we'll have our own show. Let's see here. Ghost Rider, I haven't heard anything about Hawk Girl. One second. One second. All right. Russia is Europe? No, it's not. It's not Europe. Nick Warner says, how are you handling videos for DC fandom? Well, I'll tell you. I was going to take the day off beforehand, but it now seems that the Mandalorian trailer might drop then. I had said it would drop sometime during the NBA, like a lot of Disney stuff would, but apparently those are like the big games. And so today it was reported that maybe, well, it wasn't reported, it was theorized that maybe the Mandalorian trailer would drop on August 21st or August 22nd, right when DC fandom hits, of course. I think they're going to get buried by DC fandom. It's just 24 hours, Disney. Stay away from it. But I'm going to just, I hope they have to release a schedule of panels in advance, and I'll cover that, by the way. So I'm going to prioritize what I need to cover, and I'm going to make videos as fast as I can. Obviously, on Sunday, I'll probably do some of the breakdowns, unless it ends up being like a slow news cycle. Like if I have time to do the breakdowns when the trailers drop, fine, but I'll probably just do trailer reactions on Saturday, and I'll do the breakdowns on Sunday, and then push movie math to the following month, to that Monday. Brent says 77% of Russia is in Asia and 27% is in Europe. Problem solved. That's funny. Megan says it's awkward because Pedro Pascal is in both Wonder Woman 1984 and The Mandalorian. That's right. There's enough of Pedro to go around. We can share him. Let's see here. Brian says, would you see Tenet in theaters? I don't know what's going to happen with screeners, but I will tell you that if I have to go to a movie theater, I'm not only going to wear a mask, but I'm going to wear goggles. So I'm going to be a real treat to sit near, but no one should be sitting near me anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, if I went into a movie theater or any closed space where there wasn't a lot of air circulation and people would be taking their masks off to eat, I'm going to put on a mask and goggles. So that'll be a hoot. Dallas says, well, should I take a picture? I will take a picture. It'll look horrible. Let's see here. That's right, I'll be a hazmat suit. And if anyone at the publicity says anything upset with me, I'll be like, what do you want from me? You told me I have to come and see it this way. I don't need a hazmat suit, but I will cover myself up to that degree. Let's see here. Jose, I love Deceased. I think it's great. I'm now reading it. I'm a big fan. I think Tate Taylor Tom Taylor. Tate Taylor, I think, is the director. But Tom Taylor, the comic book writer, who's doing Suicide Squad too, I think he's got the goods. Douglas, I found goggles that are anti-fog, and I can't wear my contacts, so I have to wear my glasses with the goggles over the glasses. So it'll be amazing. It'll be so fun. Carlos says, thoughts on the Harry Potter films leaving HBO Max? I feel bad for HBO Max. They had a lot of good content at the drop, but they just don't. I think it's tough to launch a streaming service. Everyone's having growing pains. Everybody wanted to be Netflix day one, but it took Netflix like a decade to become Netflix. So that's just the way it is. Sean, Jodie Comer would be great in Knives Out too. Jodie Comer should be in everything. I'm a big Jodie Comer fan. Ryan Griffin says, what if Marvel had Black Widow launch on Disney Plus as a one-night event at a certain time for $30 until theaters open? Well, November is a long time away, so let's see what happens. We don't know what's going to happen with movie theaters, but I'll tell you right now, we'll talk about it more on Movie Math. The head of AMC, let's see here. The head of AMC just did a big interview with, I think, Deadline, and was like, Disney, I hate you. But anyway, I think that once you see what the box office numbers are for New Mutants and Tenet, and you see what kind of money is being made by Bill and Ted and Mulan on streaming, then we'll get a better idea of what the other movies are going to do. I think the other movies we need to actually see some numbers. Enough of this, will anyone go? Let's find out. Let's find out if anyone will go. And these movies up front are really going to get maybe sacrificed. But I think that's not the kind of legacy that Christopher Nolan was looking for, but we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he'll be a big savior. Maybe everyone will go and see Tenet. Who's here is planning to see Tenet in a movie theater? I'm happy you made it too, Emily. Yeah, Jesse Johnson. Someone's taking roles from Betty Gilpin. I don't know why she doesn't get more work. She's so talented. It probably is Jodie Comer. They look very similar. I think you're probably right. Tanya Tyler says, Grace, is it true when you purchase Mulan, it stays on your service? Yes, it does. But if you discontinue your Disney Plus service, then it goes away. All right. Some people would. Most of you, it seems, would not. That's interesting. It looks to me, if my unscientific observation here, that like 30% of you would go. Maybe if I was being generous, 40%. Eric, I'm glad you have a drive-in. That's excellent. One of you tweeted me that you can rent an Alamo Drafthouse Theater out privately for $150. And they said and they bill it as the safest way to watch the movie. I'd be like, what? For $150? If you think $30 is a lot, $30 is a lot, how'd you like to pay $150? You think it'll be on pirating that fast? I've never pirated a movie. I don't even know how to do it. I couldn't do it because I feel like I'm taking from people. You know, people need jobs. You know, that you got to pay. A lot of people work on a movie. Sean Malia says, is Disney doing a separate service for Fox content? They're going to have a streaming presentation again in the near future, they said. I bet they announced they're going to have a Fox division on Disney Plus because they're not growing fast enough, and I think it's because all their content is the same, which is good for once a month, but it's not good if you want people to watch your streaming service like every week. That's right, Kirby. Pirating is illegal. Let's see here. Gonzalo, if I don't react to a trailer the day it comes out, I don't react to it because it's too late. I miss my window. I apologize. You know, it's a little hard still doing a schedule with the stuff that's going on. But I'm trying really hard. Like I didn't get a good start this morning because I was up so late covering the Captain Marvel news, which I gotta tell you, a lot of people didn't care about, which I felt bad about. Oh, is it time already? I love talking to you guys so much. It just flies by. Let's see here. Chicken Beach says, how do I get around New York City? I walk everywhere. I usually walk or take a taxi or an Uber. But right now, I'm not willing to get into any transportation. So if I can't walk there, I can't go there. I'll do 2 more questions. Oh, Douglas, I'm so glad you had a good time. Cesar Coronado says, how will Mulan launch in Mexico without Disney Plus? It seems any country that doesn't have Disney Plus will get it in theaters. Brett, I haven't heard anything about Disney. I think Disney's put a pin in every other movie going to Disney Plus until they see how Mulan does. They might lower the price. They might keep it where it is. I mean, it all depends on how Mulan does, so we'll see. Daniel says, in Grace, New York, what's cheaper, a taxi or an Uber? Well, it depends what kind of Uber. If you're taking an Uber, like a Uber X, it's cheaper to be in an Uber. It's even cheaper to be in a ride share. But if you do Uber Black, that's more expensive. Lloyd, I had to put a pin in merch because of the coronavirus, unfortunately. Nobody can really make anything. I don't think people would order too much stuff right now anyway, either. All right, so that's 7:35. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today. Stefano, I wish I had a pizza. I'm all out of pizza. I have one coming again on my next food order on Sunday. But thank you, everybody. You guys are so great. I love talking to you so much. And we have another stream tomorrow at 4:00 p.m. And the next watch-along will be on Friday, August 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the same time that today was. And we're going to watch Batman Returns. It's going to be great. We'll see if Michael Keaton said yes. We'll be ready. We'll be ready for him if he's going to return to DC movies. All right, have a great day. Bye, everybody. Thank you for being a member. And if you're not a member, thank you for joining in anyway. I hope you had a good time, too. All right, bye.